We're here to talk about consent and why it's so important. So what is consent?
Consent is giving someone permission to have sex with you, and that's not just sex. That's any form of sexual activity.
Yeah.
I personally think you should always make sure that you have a proper form of consent from someone before you attempt to have sex with them. You definitely have to second check.
Yeah.
Especially if they're under some form of drug or alcohol, and the moment they say no, then you have to stop straight away.
Consent is the agreement to partake in sexual activities. This isn't just sex, this is everything, and that includes full sexual intercourse, oral sex, touching each other intimately, and masturbating together. Consent is important. If one person does not give their consent, then sexual activities of any kind are illegal. Both people must consent, and either of them can change their minds no matter how far into the sexual activity they are. Consent on one occasion does not mean you automatically consent on any other occasion. The main point is to not feel pressurised into going further than you actually consent to, even if you're threatened with things like being dumped or that rumours will be spread about you.
What is the law regarding consent?
The age of sexual consent in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland is 16. Sex means full sexual intercourse, oral sex or masturbating together. Underage sex is against the law and it's classed as sexual assault. A boy who has sex with a girl under the age of 16, even if she agrees, is actually breaking the law. A person who is drunk or high may not necessarily make sound judgments. This may mean that their consent is not valid.
How do you read the signs and tell if someone's consenting or not?
You've kind of got to make sure, because you might think they said yes, and then you've got to be aware of their reactions to everything that's happening if they're not partaking in it.
Then continue to ask them if they're okay.
Make sure you're direct with your questions, do you want to do this? So as the person that wants to do it, you have to make sure you communicate clearly, and you need to make sure the person you're doing it with communicates clearly.
Make sure before you do anything, don't just take charge completely and just do what you want to do.
Consent can be given verbally or non-verbally through body language. Even if they do agree, it does not mean they have to follow through and partake in the sexual activity. People that are not capable of giving consent are young people under the age of 16 or those adults that have severe mental disabilities.
I think that if you want to stop, the most simple thing you can do is just say no. Do you know what I mean? That's the most obvious thing you can do, and I think it's the most simple thing you can do. And
make it clear to the other person. I think if I felt someone was pressuring me to do it, I would try and at least talk about that in relationship and be like, I'm not okay with you trying to pressure me into doing anything, because it's about me as much as it is about you.
It's not about doing it to be pressured, it's about doing it because you genuinely care about the person.
Don't be pressurised into doing anything you don't want to do.
I think it might be a bit too soon for me.
If you consent to one behaviour, this does not mean that you consent to any other behaviours. Any signs that you want to stop should be responded to immediately.
When you are ready, just let me know, okay?
Your body is your body, and you are in control of what you do with it.